Hi, YouTube peoples. How are you doing today? So I wanted to talk about guy-girl friendships and all the craziness that comes with. Because if you are a girl and you have guy friends, there's like kind of this unspoken rule that if you're in a relationship or they're in a relationship, you have to keep your distance. You can't like have guy friends and it'd be just cool and okay because somebody's gonna think the wrong thing or somebody's gonna get jealous or get the wrong ideas, and it is freaking ridiculous and frustrating because I am a guy's girl. I am a tomboy. I have more guy friends. I'm more comfortable around guys generally than girls. Sorry, some girls can be airheads, and I don't know, that just bugs me. Shopping, excessive talking, just, I'm more of a guy's girl, so, I didn't have more guy friends, and that poses a lot of problems. Because, look at it this way, like a girl or woman can, have guy friends that are just friends, and it'd be totally cool and normal, and they just think of them as, oh, they're my pal, they're my buddy, they're my friend, and they have no underlying motives, not necessarily always, but a lot of the times, when a girl has guy friends, she just thinks of them as, and with the exception of maybe if they're like a gay guy, gay pal or whatever that goes shopping with them or whatever, a lot of times when it comes to girls having guy friends, they may think it's all cute and innocent and everything else, but guys, they have kind of a different mindset, and I can tell you this from experience because, I've seen it from both sides of the spectrum. From hanging out with girls and having friends that are girls, and hanging out with guys and having friends that are guys. Guys, women are more emotional creatures, and guys are more physical creatures. So if a guy has a friend that's a girl, and she's, anywhere from like a 5 to a 10, according to the rating system, it's kind of harder for them to keep things in perspective without, like, thinking that there's something more going on. And, I've had issues with this in the past. And not just from the guys, but sometimes, there'll be crazy fucking jealous ex-girlfriends that, want to think the wrong thing is going on if you just, like, talk to a guy. You can just be talking to their boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or whatever, and they just, want to go all crazy, bitch crazy on you and beat your head in because you're talking to their guy, You're not kissing him, you're not making out, you're not going and renting a hotel room or whatever, you're just talking. And so they want to think the wrong thing. Or you may have, your girlfriends or whatever that want to say, ooh, you're hanging out with that guy, like what's going on, Or you may have a hater who wants to start a rumor about you and said guy. And, so I've experienced that a lot, unfortunately. And I won't say a lot, but I've had that happen to me. Sometimes I had some random girl call me up. I don't even know how she got my number. Call me up on my cell phone. What are you doing talking to my butt friend? What are you doing? And I'm just like, who the hell are you? And what? I was just talking to your boyfriend or whatever. And that's not okay, just talking. Like, wasn't making out with him, wasn't, flirting, wasn't coming on to him in any way, I was just talking. Like, if you're that insecure, there's something wrong. And granted, there's kind of a double standard because me personally, I would be a little bit of that jealous ex-girlfriend, I would, or girlfriend or whatever. With my guy, I'd be like, why are you talking to that girl? Like, why are y'all sitting together? Like, what's going on, you know? Can I see your phone? You know? Because that's just how girls are, unfortunately, a lot of times. And so, you know, because of, you know, girls' insecurities about guys, or, you know, people's tendency to want to gossip and spread rumors, or guys' tendency, unfortunately, to not keep things in perspective or be respectable. You know, sometimes it's hard to have a friendship with a guy that's purely platonic and nothing going on, because, you know, even if your intentions are purely platonic, you know, I just want to freaking play Xbox with you, and, you know, and just hang out, you know, because you're cool to be around, and I think of you like a little brother, you know. You know, you can't really do that without there being potential problems, you know. And sometimes guys don't want to keep it in perspective. You know, girls can be friends with a guy and it be, you know, totally, well, we're buddies, we're pals, you know, everything's cool, you know. But then a guy, on the other hand, oh, so you're hanging out with so-and-so, you know, talking to his buddies, hey, so you're hanging out with so-and-so, she's like fine, isn't she? Yeah, like, have you hit that yet, you know? Oh no, but I'm working on it, you know. Like, guys don't really keep things in perspective sometimes, and it can be hard, because sometimes I just wanted to be friends with a guy, you know, not anything sexual, not anything, you know, romantic. I just wanted to hang out with him because he's a cool person, whatever. And, you know, because of people's old-fashioned perceptions about, like, if you're in a relationship, if you're married, whatever, or engaged, or, you know, have a boyfriend or girlfriend, you know, you can't hang out with someone of the opposite sex, or, you know, or whatever, without it being inappropriate, or you're being unfaithful to your significant other or whatever. You know, you can't, like, have friends. It's like, when you get past a certain point, you can't have, you know, a guy friend if you're already previously attached, you know. And which is crazy, because my guy, or my current guy, as the case would be, you know, I started out being friends with him, and granted, you know, it's like love and lust at first sight. Geez, you know, he's hot, but, you know, we didn't start dating for the longest time. We were just friends, you know. But, so yeah, maybe that's more my approach to romance, is that I tend to be friends with someone, and then one thing leads to another, and just, you know, dating and whatever. But, so, tongue-tied. But, on the flip side of that, most of the time, when I'm hanging out with a guy, I just want to be friends. I just, you know, I don't really have ulterior motives, but people want to think that. And so it makes it really hard to hang out with a guy. Yeah. And I had a guy friend who was like 3-4 years younger than me at one point in time, and he was a coworker. And one of my other coworkers, it was a girl, apparently, one or more, they maybe had a thing for this guy. I don't know what the situation was. And so one of them, and I'm not sure who it was exactly, but I have my suspicions, started a rumor about me and this guy. It's a guy. And of course, I was married, and I had to stop the rumor in its tracks, because, you know, I was like flabbergasted, like, dude, I don't even think of him in that way. Like, we're just pals hanging out at work, you know, just because we get along well with each other and talk, and not like any kind of like intimate, inappropriate things, but, you know, we just hang out, you know, and get along at work. You know, you want to start something, like, there was nothing inappropriate going on. Nothing untowards, and I thought of him kind of like a little brother, you know. It was just totally weird that they would even, you know, assume the wrong thing. And then, secondly, you know, it could have been really bad for me as far as, you know, you're not supposed to have relationships with coworkers. And thirdly, I was married, and that could have been really bad if stuff got back to my husband, about that supposed, relationship, non-existent relationship. So, and then there have been a couple other situations where I had friends that were guys, and I thought, hey, we're friends, we're pals, we're buddies, it's totally cool, and then come to find out later on, turns out they had a thing for me, and then it was just weird and awkward, and I was just like, I can't just have a guy friend, So, it's frustrating. And then, again, my family is really old-fashioned and religious and everything else. And so, if I were to just be hanging out with guys, that were my husband, then they would automatically think the wrong thing. It doesn't matter if my husband were present there. If I were like joking around with a guy or like, in a video game battle with a guy, they just automatically assume, like, what are you doing? Like, remember you're married? It's like, I can't have a guy friend, and that is just mind-boggling to me because I normally get along better with guys than girls anyway. And so, it is so frustrating. But, on the flip side of that, it's kind of a double standard because if my significant other were hanging around a lot of girls, I would think, what are you doing? Can I see your phone? What's going on? What's that girl's name? Can I talk to her? Can I Facebook stalk her? So, yeah. It's frustrating, but it's... So, any thoughts, comments on this issue and how you deal with this situation? And, what sort of advice, wise counsel you would give me in regards to this would be much appreciated. And also your anecdotes and stories about, you going through the same kind of situations are very much appreciated. Oh, and one more story before I leave. There was a guy that, okay, he was cute and all, but he was dating my roommate. And I was not, I didn't even think anything about him in a certain way. And then, so I'm just like being friends, hanging out mutually with him and my roommate. And then later on they break up. And he starts acting flirtatious with me. And so I'm thinking like, what the heck? Is he like into me? Like, this is weird. And I didn't really, not that he wasn't cute and all, but I didn't think of him in that way, and I was not trying to be disrespectful of my roommate in any way. But then he's saying bye to me at some point, and he leans in and gives me a kiss, and I'm just like, what the hell? And so, sometimes situations like that happen, and it's hard to just be friends with a guy without them thinking the wrong thing, or an ex-girlfriend thinking the wrong thing, or your, old-fashioned family thinking the wrong thing, or your, significant other thinking the wrong thing. And, like I just want to freaking play Xbox and hang out. Jeez. I don't want to go shag up with you. Have a good shag. I just want to be your friend, be your pal, your buddy. And that's the end of my rant. Thank you for listening to my craziness.